We live in a world obsessed with being liked. Scroll through social media, watch people at work or school. Approval has become the measure of success. Likes, follows, smiles, compliments. They all signal the same thing, that we are good enough, that we are liked. But Machiavelli warned centuries ago that the desire to be liked is a trap. It may feel safe, satisfying even, but safety is the enemy of power. I'm going to tell you something that will make you uncomfortable, even angry. I'm going to show you why some people command respect while being dangerous, while others, like you maybe, get walked over chasing nothing but approval. Being liked is seductive because it disguises weakness as charm. It feels like influence, but it is actually dependency. When every decision you make revolves around avoiding disapproval, you have already surrendered control. Every compromise to keep the peace, every softened truth, every forced smile chips away at your authority. People sense hesitation, fear, and the faintest hint of insecurity. The moment they do, your influence disappears. The trap is subtle. You may think you are building friendships, alliances, or loyalty, but what you are really doing is becoming predictable, pliable, negotiable. Being liked relies entirely on other people's moods, whims, and approval. One disagreement, one moment of honest defiance, and the scaffolding collapses. Applause is fleeting, respect is enduring. Machiavelli didn't warn princes only about courts and politics. He warned anyone who wants to influence, lead, or protect themselves in a world full of shifting loyalties. Those who chase approval are enslaved by opinions. Those who seek respect are untouchable because respect is earned through principle, consistency, and decisive action. Unlike being liked, respect is not conditional on pleasure. It is conditional on mastery, integrity, and the perception of unwavering control. Stopping the desire to be liked is not cruelty. It is clarity. It is refusing to dilute yourself for comfort, refusing to bend for applause. Disapproval is not a threat. It is proof that you are unshakable. People who matter do not measure you by how many smiles you collect. They measure you by the strength of your convictions, by the quiet tension created when others realize you cannot be manipulated easily. Every yes you gave to stay liked, every softened truth, every attempt to avoid friction has cost you time, energy, influence, respect. You've been paying interest without realizing it. Chasing approval weakens your ability to be respected, even more than it weakens your freedom. Respect requires discomfort. It requires losing some friends, upsetting some people, being misunderstood. That discomfort is not punishment, it is liberation. In rejecting the desire to be liked, you gain control over yourself and authority over the situations that truly matter. You gain influence that cannot be taken away. Think about it. Every moment you performed for applause has chipped away at your power. Every softened decision has cost you more than you realize. Stop chasing likes. Real power waits for no one. Let me tell you a story. There was a young executive named Marcus, charismatic, friendly, always smiling, always agreeing with everyone, always likable. In meetings, people adored him. His emails were warm, his compliments generous, his presence comfortable. Everyone wanted to be around Marcus. Everyone liked Marcus. But Marcus had a problem. When a crisis hit, an impossible deadline, a project in chaos, a team divided, Marcus froze. He couldn't make decisions that would upset anyone. He softened the truth, promised solutions he couldn't deliver, and tried to please everyone at once. The moment the pressure was real, people stopped following him. They didn't respect him. They liked him, yes, but liking him didn't make him powerful. It didn't make him effective. Contrast that with Lucia, another leader in the same company. Lucia wasn't the most liked. She was tough, direct, and rarely softened her words to protect feelings. Her decisions upset people, and she often faced criticism for being harsh. But everyone respected her. When the crisis hit, her team moved with precision. Her orders were followed. Her judgment was trusted. Respect had given her authority. Approval had never done that for Marcus. This is the subtle danger of being liked. It's conditional. People like you when you amuse them, when you avoid conflict, when you perform in ways that are predictable, safe, and comfortable. Approval is fleeting because it is built on other people's moods, not on your mastery or principles. One mistake, one moment of truth, and the scaffolding collapses. Being liked is fragile. Respect is enduring. Machiavelli would have recognized Marcus immediately. He saw this hundreds of years ago in princes who chased popularity. Those who pandered to the court, softened decisions to please their nobles, or avoided difficult truths, were always overthrown. Those who prioritized respect, who were firm, decisive, and consistent, commanded loyalty even in fear, even in anger. Respect survives discomfort. Approval does not. Here's the truth Marcus learned too late. The more you chase being liked, the more you expose yourself. Every concession, every softened boundary, every avoidance of conflict chips away at your authority. People begin to sense it. They see hesitation, weakness, and insecurity. They may smile at you, nod in agreement, and compliment your charm, but behind the smiles, they are calculating how far they can push you. Respect, on the other hand, creates invisible boundaries. People hesitate to lie, cheat, or manipulate because they sense the cost. It is quiet, it is subtle, it is terrifyingly effective. Unlike liking, it cannot be bought with charm, flattery, or performance. Respect is earned through consistency, courage, and mastery over yourself. Think about Marcus and Lucia. One was liked and powerless. The other was respected and unstoppable. Every yes Marcus gave to keep the crowd happy eroded his power. Every softened truth kept him fragile. And yet, every decision Lucia made that annoyed people built her authority. That is the paradox. The world punishes those who seek approval, but elevates those who embrace respect. If you want to wield influence in life, you cannot live like Marcus. You must be like Lucia. You must embrace decisions that displease, truths that unsettle, and actions that challenge expectations. Approval is fragile. Respect is a weapon, and the choice of which to chase is yours. Before we go deeper, I want you to do something. Pause for a moment and write the comments. Respect is earned, not given. Now let's talk about why respect matters more than being liked, and why it is the quiet engine of influence. Being liked feels safe. People smile at you, nod at your ideas, and compliment your charm. Approval is pleasant, but it is fragile. It disappears the moment conflict arises, the moment you make a decision that challenges someone else's comfort, the moment you stand firm on principle. Those who rely on being liked are always reacting, always adjusting, always performing. Their authority is borrowed, conditional, and temporary. Respect, on the other hand, is earned through clarity, consistency, and decisiveness. It is not built on smiles or approval. It is built on the perception that you cannot be easily manipulated or ignored. Respect commands attention. It draws obedience without begging, loyalty without flattery, and influence without performance. It is quiet, invisible, and far more enduring than popularity. Here is the subtle distinction. Fear without respect is crude. People may obey, but only reluctantly, and they constantly seek a way to bypass you. Respect without influence is hollow. People may admire you, but they will not act decisively when it matters. True power comes when respect carries with it a hint of hesitation from others, a subtle recognition that crossing you comes at a cost. That recognition alone shifts dynamics in your favor. The moment you stop bending to be liked, you step into this power. You stop softening your words, avoiding conflict, and performing for applause. You stop being predictable. You begin to set boundaries that others instinctively respect. The result is subtle but profound. People hesitate before challenging you. They weigh their words, their actions, and their intentions. They sense that authority rests in principle, not charm. Chasing approval is tempting because it is comfortable. Standing firm is uncomfortable because it provokes friction, criticism, even resentment. But discomfort is the price of respect. The stronger your principles, the firmer your boundaries, and the more decisive your actions, the more respect you generate, quietly, invisibly, and powerfully. Think about your own life. Are you constantly adjusting to be liked, softening your truth, avoiding friction just to maintain smiles? Or are you standing firm, embracing discomfort, and cultivating the kind of respect that cannot be bought or stolen? Approval fades. Respect endures. Approval earns temporary comfort. Respect commands lasting influence. Write your line in the comments. Keep it close. Let it remind you, approval is fleeting, discomfort is necessary, and respect is the dark, silent power that shapes the world around you. Machiavelli did not write about power from comfort. He wrote from exile. Once a respected diplomat in Florence, he lost everything when the political winds shifted. He was dismissed, imprisoned, and pushed into obscurity. And it was there, stripped of status and approval, that he saw power most clearly. What Machiavelli learned was brutal. Liking does not protect you. Reputation does. During his diplomatic missions, Machiavelli closely observed rulers who survived chaos and those who were destroyed by it. One figure stood out to him above all others: Cesare Borgia. Borgia was not loved. He was feared, respected, and intensely disciplined. When he took control of unstable territories, he did not beg for approval. He imposed order decisively, punished disorder swiftly, and then withdrew force once authority was established. The result? Stability, control, respect. Machiavelli noticed something critical. People resented Borgia's harshness at first, but they obeyed him. And obedience created order. Order created security. Security created legitimacy. Respect followed, not because Borgia was kind, but because he was consistent, decisive, and unmovable. From this, Machiavelli extracted rules that still apply today. The first rule is control. Machiavelli saw that rulers who reacted emotionally, who lashed out, over-explained, or sought reassurance, lost authority quickly. Emotional restraint signals inner strength. When you control your reactions, others adjust theirs around you. The second rule is consistency. Borgia enforced rules evenly. Friends and enemies were treated by the same standards. Machiavelli understood that inconsistency invites rebellion. If your values change based on convenience, respect evaporates. Consistency tells people where you stand and that you will not move. The third rule is decisiveness. Machiavelli despised hesitation. He wrote that fortune favors the bold, not the cautious. Leaders who delay to remain liked are replaced by those who act. Respect follows action, not intention. The fourth rule is boundaries. Machiavelli learned this the hard way. When he lost his position, those who once praised him vanished. Approval dissolved overnight. Power, he realized, depends on distance. The more accessible you are, the less weight your presence carries. The fifth rule is restraint and mystery. Machiavelli advised rulers to reveal intentions only when necessary. Those who explain themselves constantly weaken their position. Mystery creates leverage. Silence creates gravity. Here is the uncomfortable truth Machiavelli discovered through exile. Respect is built through discomfort. Those who seek approval avoid friction and lose power. Those who accept being misunderstood preserve authority. If you follow these rules, you will notice a shift. People will stop testing you. They will listen more carefully. They will hesitate before crossing boundaries, not because you demanded respect, but because your actions made it unavoidable. Machiavelli didn't survive by being liked. He survived by understanding how respect is built and why power belongs to those who can stand alone. By now, you understand the truth most people never face. Being liked is easy. Being respected is costly. When you stop chasing approval, everything begins to change. Conversations shift. People listen more carefully. They hesitate before interrupting, before testing boundaries, before taking advantage. Not because you became louder or crueler, but because you became solid. Predictable in principle, dangerous in resolve. This is the transformation Machiavelli understood better than most. Power does not announce itself. It does not seek permission. It does not explain itself endlessly. Power is quiet, structured, and internally anchored. And once you step into it, the world adjusts around you. You will lose something in this process. You will lose casual smiles. You will lose shallow validation. You may even lose people who only valued you when you were easy to control. But what you gain is far greater. You gain authority over your time. You gain control over your decisions. You gain influence that does not vanish when you disagree or stand alone. Respect changes relationships. Friends stop testing you. Enemies become cautious. Opportunities appear without begging. You are no longer negotiating your worth. You are asserting it through action. This is the final Machiavellian truth. Those who fear being disliked remain weak forever. Those who accept it become powerful. You don't need to intimidate. You don't need to dominate. You only need to stop bending. And once you stop bending, something remarkable happens. The world begins to bend instead. If this message resonated with you, if it put words to something you felt but couldn't articulate, then you already understand the path you're on. This channel exists for those who choose clarity over comfort, respect over approval, power over illusion. Subscribe, not for motivation, not for comfort, but to sharpen your understanding of how the world really works. Because once you see the rules clearly, you can never be controlled by them again. And remember this: approval fades, respect endures. Choose wisely.